It's like a dream come true that a $3 million inheritance and company are ours. Seeing my brother's wife rejoicing at the inheritance ceremony, the employees began whispering. With a smug look, my brother's wife declares to the murmuring crowd, "Quiet. This is an important moment when my husband will inherit the company and $3 million. At this, one of the employees can't hold back and bursts out laughing. "What's so funny?" Meanwhile, my brother receives the will from the lawyer and begins reading. Then, his face turns pale. This can't be. When my brother's wife sees the will, she screams, "I'm Madeline. I'm 29 years old and work at my father's company." My father, who founded the company from scratch when he was younger, had a knack for business. The company has now grown significantly and employs many people. Of course, in the early days, we struggled with debt, and even as a child, I could tell my father had it rough. Even after the company grew, I wanted to support my mother, who was mainly doing administrative back-office work. This was the first thought that came to mind when I considered my career path after high school. My parents encouraged me to pursue my interests in college, but I wanted to contribute to my father's hard-built company. At the company, I was guided by Wilson, a veteran employee. He didn't look at me through the lens of being the boss's daughter and taught me the ropes. Thanks to Wilson, I learned a lot about the company. My brother Cooper, 2 years older than me, went to college to study business. He loved the spotlight and often bragged to his friends about inheriting our father's company someday. "Cooper, what will you do after graduation? Aren't you going to look for a job?" "I don't need to job hunt. I'll join my dad's company. It's already decided that I'll be the president one day, so until then, I'll slowly gain experience as a manager." "Next in line, huh? Well, your future is secure. But doesn't Madeline work there too? Won't there be a rivalry for the heir?" "Madeline? Yeah, she works there, but she's a high school grad who does the behind-the-scenes work, haha." "You say that, huh? It sounds like she's doing the behind-the-scenes work for the company, but, well, if I become president, I'll let her keep her role if she does what I tell her to do." My brother was playing around with his money lavishly, under the guise that it would give him experience as a manager. Maybe knowing his friends would flock to his lifestyle. Many women also vied for his attention due to his title as the future president. He chose the flashiest woman among them. That was Lucy. They had a lavish wedding, enjoyed a honeymoon abroad, and built a mansion to start their married life. My brother claimed this was all to build the image of a president. Lucy seemed satisfied with the life of luxury, all her whims catered to by Cooper. She likely couldn't understand my life, supporting my father's company in the background. "Madeline, you really don't seem like the president's daughter. So plain." When we met at family gatherings, Lucy often looked at me and laughed in that manner. "I'm not fond of a flashy lifestyle." When I spoke, Lucy responded with a slight mockery. "Pull you, born into wealth, and don't know how to use it. What? Living with your parents with plenty of money, there's no need for you to work hard. That's, with the title of the president's daughter, won't men be flocking to you?" My brother echoes Lucy. "Yeah, Madeline has always been plain. She doesn't seem like the daughter of a president. She even treats other employees normally." Of course about that, I still have so much to learn at work. There are many employees more competent than me, and I can't act superior. When I counted, my brother said with dismay, "That's why you'll never make it. The president has to command respect from subordinates. Just let the mundane tasks be handled by others. Clearly, only Dad and I have what it takes to be president in this family." "That is, but even as president, you shouldn't look down on others." I tried to say back, but my brother cuts me off dismissively. Yay, enough already. No one likes a nitpicking woman, haha." My brother said that, then Lucy chimes in. "Exactly. If you keep this up, you'll never get married. You should flaunt your status as the president's daughter while you can, right, Cooper? Yay, and if I become president, I might fire a dull employee like you." They both leave after making their remarks. After they go, my mother comforts me. "Don't mind what Cooper says. You're helping the company, and your father and I appreciate it." My father nods with serious face. In the past, my parents confronted my brother about his attitude, but that only led to Cooper and Lucy avoiding us for over a month. I remember the tense atmosphere at that time, so I suggested to my parents that we just let Cooper and his wife say what they want. After that, my brother and Lucy continued to live as they pleased, spending lavishly at high-end restaurants and traveling to famous resorts, all for the sake of gaining the appearance of a company president. My father, on the other hand, was working hard to expand the business, but one night at home, he clutched his chest in pain. "Dad, are you okay? Hang in there. Madeline, take this." As we waited for the ambulance, he told me, holding his chest. He directed me to a drawer, indicating a letter. I quickly pulled the letter from the drawer. "If anything happens to me, read this. Everything else is left with the lawyer." My father told me this breathlessly just before the ambulance arrived, and he lost consciousness and passed away before regaining it at the hospital. My brother and Lucy, who were abroad, didn't get to see him before he passed, and they returned from their trip 2 days later, at the end of the funeral. Well, I'm glad we made it. I didn't expect Dad to collapse while we were on vacation. Seriously, it was shocking. Without acknowledging that they left the funeral arrangements to my mother and me, they sauntered in. I quietly asked my brother, making sure other employees couldn't hear, "Couldn't you have come back sooner?" "What? The return flight was already set. Couldn't change it." He responded unapologetically, then turned to greet the employees. "Thank you all for supporting my father. I'll take over and lead from here, so trust me." Seeing the employees silent, Lucy commented as if impressed, "See, Cooper, they're too moved to speak. Of course, my presence commands respect." He smirked, then addressed me. "Hey Madeline, where's the memorial meal? Show us already." I led my brother, his wife, and their employees to the table for the meal. Throughout the meal, my brother continued his behavior. "Madeline, this food's too low grade, huh? It ruins Dad's dignity as president. Mom and I decided on it. You weren't there, so don't criticize. See, this is why you don't understand what being a president is about," my brother muttered, not just to me but also giving orders to the employees. "Hey, you there, come on and pour me a beer." "You're useless." Hearing him ordering around even Wilson, the veteran employee, I quickly intervene. "Hey, Cooper. How could you say that? Don't disrespect Mr. Wilson." "Disrespect? It's them being disrespectful. Why should I humble myself before mere employees? They should show me more respect." Lucy also aggressively confronted me. "Yay. Madeline, don't speak to President Cooper like that. Keep it up and we'll fire you." As my brother and Lucy continue ranting, a man enters. "Sorry to interrupt. I'm handling the inheritance proceedings for your father." It's the lawyer my father had arranged before he passed away. I remember my father saying he had made arrangements, anticipating this. It seems he had made these arrangements several years before he collapsed, anticipating that he might not be around. Hearing about the inheritance, Cooper and Lucy's eyes lit up. They happily invited the lawyer into the room. "Thank you for coming. It's best to get this sorted quickly. Come in." Cooper nervously spoke to the lawyer. "Isn't the inheritance $3 million? Lucy exclaims in delight. $3 million. It's like a dream to have both the inheritance and company. The employees start whispering when they heard that. Lucy silences them smedley. "Hey, quiet. This is an important moment when Cooper inherits $3 million and the company." One employee can't hold back a laugh. "What's so funny?" While Lucy was puzzled, Cooper received the will from the lawyer and began reading it. Cooper's face quickly turned pale. "Now Lucy, this. The will states the entire company is being left to me, the eldest daughter." Cooper, staring at the will, suddenly bursts out, "No way. This can't be right." The lawyer awkwardly told my brother. "This one is legal and in effect." Cooper raised his voice even more. "What? Who cares? It's absurd that Madeline's inheriting the company. Was Dad senile? Right. My Phil wasn't making sound decisions. The will written by a senile old man is invalid." Hearing their words, I was completely infuriated. I couldn't ignore the words of the two who insulted our deceased father. I couldn't allow anyone, even family, to disgrace our father, who was respectable until the end. Enough. It's ridiculous for you to think Cooper is fit to be president. My words enraged my brother. "What? You think I'm unqualified? I answered without flinching. Yes, I do. You've never done anything for the company. How could you be president? I built a fitting house for a president. Lucy and I have worked hard to build the image. By building a lavish house and dining at expensive restaurants, that's not for the company. It's just wasteful spending. And the money for the house and your lavish lifestyle came mostly from Dad. How do you know that? Dad gave me a letter before he passed, detailing everything he spent on you, counting it all as a living gift. So, you have no inheritance. Hearing this, Lucy hurriedly asked, "What? But the $3 million. We couldn't have spent all of that." An employee who had just laughed stepped forward and told Lucy, "That money is the company's funds. Everyone here knows that. Company money. Not part of the inheritance." I told Lucy, "Yes. The company's money is not subject to inheritance by the family. So, there is no doubt that your share is almost nothing." "I'm sorry to hear that. That's..." Lucy was in a daze. $3 million. Inheritance. My brother suddenly stands up and yells at the employees, "Are you all okay with a dull woman like Madeline running your company? I'm more suited to be president. I have as much charisma as Dad." No employees agreed with what Cooper said. Wilson steps forward and begins speaking to my brother. "Your father did have charisma and founded the company from scratch, but the difference between you and him is like night and day." "Huh? What you have isn't charisma but arrogance, looking down on us." "What did you say?" Angered by an employee's calm rebuttal, my brother openly showed his anger. "Cooper, technically you're part of the company, but we've hardly seen you work. That's because I was busy building connections. I had no time for mundane office work. So going out at night or traveling is building your connections. That's not worth discussing." Wilson sighs and continue. "Madeline, on the other hand, has diligently handled the company's internal work and strived to learn more. Mr. Wilson, she showed the sincerity I felt from your father. We all believe she's fit to be president." Other employees nod in agreement. I feel moved and say, "Thank you all. I know this is sudden, but having seen Dad's passion for this company, I care about it as much as you do. Please continue to work with me." When I bowed deeply, the employees warmly applauded me. Encouraged by their applause, I firmly told my brother, "All these employees have supported this company, and anyone who neglects them doesn't deserve to be president, nor an employee. Cooper, you're fired." Hearing this, Cooper immediately became anxious. "What are you talking about? I'm your brother, aren't I? What are you talking about? You said you'd fire me if you became president, didn't you?" Well, I can't pay a family member who can't contribute. This is crazy. Someone, say something." Seeking help with a pitiful look, the employees only gave him cold stares. Realizing he has no support, my brother and Lucy flee. After losing his job, Cooper managed to get by on a small inheritance, but that money soon ran out as well. "Madeline, lend me some money." I firmly rejected my brother's request for money. Despite being fired, Cooper didn't look for a new job and still hoped the family would take care of everything. I also made sure to tell my mother not to give any money to Cooper. The friends who had fawned over Cooper quickly distanced themselves once they learned that his sister had taken over as president. When Lucy married Cooper, she had boasted about becoming a president's wife and had no true friends to support her. Eventually, when living expenses became unmanageable, Cooper and Lucy decided to sell their mansion. Once they received the money from selling their house, they relaxed and resumed their lavish lifestyle. However, their savings dwindled quickly since they had no income. Cooper and Lucy soon ran out of things to sell when they couldn't afford their living expenses again. By the time he decided to get serious about finding work, there were no companies willing to hire someone with as little work experience as him. It took Cooper a while to find this job as a convenience store clerk. Cooper is struggling with a convenience store job, constantly critiqued by much younger co-workers. Lucy can no longer be a housewife as before. She's now working long hours at a supermarket cashier for a low salary, with the part-time housewives she once scorned. I, on the other hand, lead the company, applying what I've learned. Wilson and the other employees support me, and business is steadily growing. This ordeal might have strengthened our team's unity. I vowed to grow the company alongside my mother, for Dad